So I'm having a chat with Two Ways Home. How are you both?
Very well, thank you, Jim.
Very good.
Good. Great to hear. So we've been playing a new single of yours called Medicine Man. Tell us a little bit about the single, first of all.
Yay!
Well, first single released in a
Exciting.
little while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not been out too long, but seems to be going down really well. We've kind of gone in a slightly more rockier direction with
Yeah.
this one,
We have.
but it's lovely having it out there.
Yeah, nice. And the sound you've created with it, as you mentioned, it's a more rockier sound. Was it the plan to do that, or is it simply just how the track turned out?
I think a little bit of both. Sometimes you start playing a track and you think, we could go heavier here, and sometimes you don't and regret it. And this time we just thought we'd put some more guitars on, sing a bit rockier. It feels like a really natural direction for us. We really like making heavier music and performing it live. So
Yeah, also I was gonna say, probably because we're going on tour soon, we were thinking, oh, Rocky would be quite good, because then you can really rock out when you're on tour.
Yeah, absolutely. You've mentioned the tour now, so we'll touch on that now. You are heading out across the UK in May. I bet you can't wait to be touring again.
it's going to be great. We're taking a full band on the road.
Yeah, it'd be really fun.
We've got a big sound. The tour has a bit of a theme to it, which is tied in with the Medicine Man. And yeah,
It'd just be fun to get out there, meet all the fans, and just play the songs, really. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we're heading into festival season. Are you planning on being at many festivals this summer?
yeah, both as performers and spectators, I feel.
Yeah.
We've got a few coming up. I'm just trying to double check in my mind what's announced and what isn't, but we're going to be at the Long Road,
Yes, the Long Road Festival.
which we're really excited about.
Then at various foodies festivals, which is fun.
We've got a handful that are about to be announced, so I don't want to jump any ships before they already have been, but there are going to be some announcements in the next few days, which we're super excited about. A few new festivals as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Sounds like you're going to have a busy year ahead. And with Medicine Man now out there, is this the start now of more new music to come throughout the rest of this year?
Yes,
definitely.
Literally, we have we're actually in our recording studio here, and just ahead of talking to you, we were kind of like working away on some bits and bobs of the mix of our next song, which is also quite kind of heavy,
Yeah.
rocky.
Yeah, nice. And are we gearing up to a bigger body of work, maybe an EP or an album, or is it sticking with singles at the moment?
Yes, we're hoping for an album next year. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna release still a few singles this year, and then 2025. That's weird to say.
Don't think about that far into the future.
We're gonna release an album, so that's gonna be fun.
Nice.
And I feel like if we keep saying it to you, Jim, if we keep telling ourselves we're going to release this album, there's
It's gonna happen.
chance that it might happen.
You have to do it then.
Yeah.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the writing side of things as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
Always different, but I feel like a very common start is just us looking at our phones and
Don't say that.
I meant taking the notes app out, and then we always accumulate loads of little sentences or phrases that we've just heard somewhere, or which were either in a TV series or a book.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we're just whenever something happens or we have some interaction with somebody or something they say or we think triggers a thought, goes in our little notes file, and then when we've got just find some time to do some writing, we kind of dig those out and try and start with like a core concept, and then try and add in like our personal experiences about what this like to flesh this idea out more. So I guess we start with lyrics. That's a long way of saying that.
Yeah, nice. And how easy is it for you to layer up the track once, let's say, the lyrics are done? How do you kind of work it from there?
I think we definitely write the songs and the melodies and stuff a lot more together. I then tend to get in the studio. As with Medicine Man, I actually played all the parts on the track. And I programmed some demo drums at the start just to get things going, but our drummer played on this track as well. But generally, we also like play all the instruments on the songs. And like feel like you've got so much, like so much of the song is in the arrangement and how the instruments you play. That's really important to us.
Yeah, nice. And one thing I like to find out about people I interview is what made you do this in the first place and write this sort of music as well.
Oh,
Go first.
That's a good question. I feel like I've kind of been singing from a very young age, and then went to university to study music, and then me and Lewis kind of met at university, and then we first were in a covers band together, but that all fell apart. And then we started writing songs, and actually like the style just came quite naturally. We kind of fell into it. And we had a teacher at university who kind of said to us, "Oh, you kind of sound a little bit like the Nashville style country rock sound. Why don't you go and check it out?" So we actually went to Nashville, checked it out, really liked the sound. But then also like a lot of influences come in from when we were younger. So my influences are more in like the R&B background, but then Lewis has rockier influences.
Yeah, and just to sort of answer your question, like why, I was just trying to think, like, why do we do this? Why do any of us do music, Jim? It's a terrible
Why do any
choice.
of us do anything?
Really? Yeah, okay, that's the bigger question. We're really getting philosophical here. For me, I think more and more I think about it, it's like I was never really sure what I wanted to do in life. All I knew is I loved playing music and I wanted to do that, but was kind of like hinted in the direction that it wasn't a good career idea by my very smart parents, who now I think maybe are smarter than I ever gave them credit for. But I guess when I moved to London to study like a short course of music and do some other work, I realized that I could maybe make a go of it, and it would just involve doing a lot of things within music. And I guess that was the only thing I was ever sure I really wanted to do in life.
Yeah, I can totally relate with you on that as well. Guys, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
You too. Thanks so much for playing our tracks, Jim. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
We really appreciate it, and nice to chat to you.